guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to tell you 7 things I've learned since becoming a mother. Since Mother's Day was just the other day, it is in tribute of that. So let me just stop rambling and jump right into the video. So the first thing I've learned is that things don't get easier, you just become more accustomed to them. When first becoming a mother, things seem very difficult, very confusing. You don't know what you're doing, especially during that period when the baby has colic. Now, colic is when your child cries for no apparent reason. They're going to be clean, they're going to be fed, and they're going to be well rested, but they still cry. And we don't know why. You don't know why. You try to do everything, but they just do not stop crying. And even though it's a very frustrating period, it eventually stops. But as time progresses and you as the mother learns your baby more, every time that child cries, you begin to know the reason behind their crying. And remember, crying as a baby is the only way that they can communicate with you. So once you learn your baby and you learn their cries, you'll be able to know what each cry means then. And remember, as a mother, no one knows your baby better than you. No one on this earth will know your baby better than you. Every day you learn your baby and your baby learns you. So don't worry, mommy. Things are gonna get easier to handle. The second thing that I've learned is that I should never, and neither should you, we should never be afraid to ask for help. As mothers, we believe that we have to do everything ourselves, but we don't. We are not weak if we ask for help. We're not less than if we ask for assistance. So don't be afraid to ask for help. I know that anybody who makes you feel less than for asking for help, they're ignorant to the facts and the responsibilities that come with motherhood. So don't take them on. Ignore them. Postpartum depression is a real problem in mothers, and it can come on long after delivery. And this type of depression can cause mothers to hurt not just themselves, but their babies. Something that while they're pregnant, they can't even fathom doing. So when you need a break, take it. Take a step away when you feel like you're cracking under the pressures of motherhood. And I know that there are situations where mothers are alone and they have nobody to help them, and my heart completely goes out to them. But if there's anybody in your life that you can ask for help from, ask for help. Remember, you cannot pour from an empty cup. So until you care for yourself, you can't properly care for your newborn baby. Number 3, you cannot and will not please everyone. And that's okay. Your family and friends are always going to have opinions and suggestions on what you should or shouldn't do to your baby. And that's okay. Advice is always good to be given. But since every baby is different, every advice will not work for you and your baby. From personal experience, I remember getting advice on how I should feed Adaya to allow him to gain weight. And I listened to the advice and I said thank you for the advice. But I knew my child, and I knew that when he ate, he was eating adequate enough. He wasn't hungry when he was finished, and if he was, he would ask for more. So I just took the advice and I said thank you for it. So when people give you advice, don't be rude, don't push back, don't be like, whoa, okay, dang, a work for me, child. Just say thank you for your advice, I will take it under consideration, or I will try it and see. So when people give you advice, just say thanks, but don't feel obligated to do every and anything people tell you to do, because no matter what, you can't please everybody. Number 4, never ever compare your child with other children. Do not compare your baby with other people's babies. No 2 children, not even twins, no 2 babies are the same. So how do you expect, or why would you expect that your child and another child is going to grow and is going to act the same way? Let me move my hair. When I was in the hospital, I was comparing Adaya's size to the size of all the other babies that were in the hospital at the same time. And I was like, oh gosh, Adaya is a big baby compared to all these other people's babies. Then when I got out of the hospital, I started comparing him to babies that were born in the same month as him and in the same year as him, because a lot of persons from my church got baby around the same time. So I was comparing his size to other people's baby's size, and I was like, wow, he is so small compared to all these other children who are so rosy and so chubby and so on. And then I started to spiral. Like, I wasn't spiraling like physically, nobody could see it, but internally I was just wondering if something was wrong with him. And then other people were like, oh, you gotta feed him more, and you're not doing enough, you gotta get your child food, you gotta, how we gonna get sick. And you know how some people say, everybody was, well, not everybody, but some persons in my life were just talking about me not doing enough as a mother. And persons in your life are going to make you feel like you are inadequate and you're not doing enough as a mother, because they're going to be comparing your child to their children who are maybe full-grown adults, or other person's children who are different. But then one day I sat down and I realized I'm skinny. I was skinny before having my son. My husband is skinny. How can two skinny persons make a fat child? How is that possible? And yeah, I know genetics from from grandparents and so on, but in my situation, obviously I'm gonna have a skinny child. So what's the problem? So at that moment I realized it don't make sense I compare my child to other people's children, because I ain't the parents of the other children. So how do I want these other people's children and my child to look the same if these children all have different parents? I know I'm rambling a bit, but I hope I'm getting my point across to you mothers and fathers. Do not compare your child to other people's children, because they do not have the same genetic makeup. They're not in the same environment. And remember, environment has a lot to do with how a child develops or how a child grows. The environment that child is in. So do not compare your child or your children with other people's child or children. Your child is perfect the way that they are. Number 5, do not be too hard on yourself. And that's something I had to learn and I had to work through, not being too hard on myself. In a video that I did a couple of months ago, I expressed, when Adai got sick, I was really hard on myself because I blamed myself for him getting sick. And I had to understand that he's a child, and in the womb he was protected from all of the external things in the world. That was the safest place that he was, in the womb. But once he came into the world, he's now exposed to all these different germs, all these different pathogens, everything, like so much things he's now exposed to. And obviously, in order for his body to acclimate, he has to get sick in order to fight the sicknesses and be better. All right, I had to realize that this is something he has to go through. He has to get sick in order to get stronger. So don't be too hard on yourself when your child gets sick, or if your child falls or your child gets injured or something. It is something they have to do. It is all a part of the growing and learning process. Look at it this way. When you start a new job, you don't know to do everything perfectly on the first day of the job, on the second day. It takes a while for you to learn what you got to do, complete your tasks, and do everything in a adequately, because that's the best way you could do it. You won't be perfect at everything. And it's the same with motherhood. It takes time for you to get into the motions. It takes time for you to learn things properly. So don't be too hard on yourself. You will eventually learn things and you will eventually get the hang of things. We're almost done to the end. 6 things that I've learned since becoming a mother is, don't be afraid of allowing my child to explore. Personally, I love to see when Adaya is outside and he is playing. He loves being outside, first of all. He loves being in nature. Something that, like his mommy, okay? He might not look like me, but he has my tendencies. So he loves being outside. He loves to play. He loves to feel the grass and feel the mud and play outside. And I just love seeing that. I love to see him explore. And that's something you should allow your child as the older they get. You monitor them, you're with them so that nothing dangerous happens, but just allow them to touch things. because this is how they learn what's dangerous from what is safe. So be vigilant when they're playing, but don't prevent them from learning and exploring the world. And last but not least, wow, now that I'm at the end, I cannot speak. Last but not least, the final thing that I have learned since becoming a mother is baby talk is not the same as tonation. Okay? It is not the same. Goo goo gaga. We love to do it, but it does not make sense, and the baby knows that. That's why they look at you so weird. You want to know why your child looking at you like, what's this one talking about? What's she doing? It's because it ain't real. It's not real. It's not real language. It's not a real thing. So please, stop treating your child like they're an idiot. Tonation is the way that you elevate or de-escalate your voice. You know, the different ways that you speak, the different expressions that you have to show different emotions. And these are things that your child learns from you. So let's say your child fell down and they hurt themselves, and you want to express that you care about them. You would speak to them in a soft manner. You would say, okay baby, it's all right. It's all a part of growing up. You're going to feel better, and then you're gonna get up and play all over again. Your baby will understand that. Your child will understand that when mommy speaks like this, it means that she cares about me. Now, you know, when you're angry and you want to express that you're angry. We know we all speak in it. We all have our angry tone. You know yourself. That's not something we're supposed to do. I told you not to do that. Don't do it. You can see they're different, but as a baby you won't be as hard. As a baby, when you're speaking to a baby, you won't be as harsh to them as when you're speaking to another adult. But you need to have different tones so that you can express different emotions to your child. So forget about that baby talk, forget about the goo goo gaga. That makes no sense. Learn tonation. Speak to your child like they are an understanding individual, because they are not understanding individual. Alright, don't treat them like they're an idiot, because your baby is not an idiot. I'm telling you, these babies smarter than you think. Yeah, they're smarter than you think. They think they're born before you. At least mine does. So this brings me to the end of this video. I hope that these things that I have learned during my motherhood journey is going to be helpful to you as you begin, or as you are on your motherhood journey, whether you're pregnant, you're planning on becoming pregnant sometime in the future, or you've just given birth to your beautiful baby. I really hope these tips and these thoughts and these things, I don't even know what to call them, will be helpful to you. So that is all for this video. Have a faithfully blessed day. Let me know, what videos do you guys want to see on this channel, because you know I'm trying to make videos that you want to see. That is all. I will see you in the next one. Bye guys. Mwah.